Yes, interest rates are high right now, but this does not mean that you cannot buy a home. It just means that you need the right strategy. Too many buyers right now are waiting for the perfect interest rate and are missing out on the right home. And in this video today, I will show you how buyers are successfully purchasing homes in a high rate market and the strategies that will help you overpaying in the long run. Let's take a look. Hello everybody, welcome back to the Moving to Milwaukee channel. If you're new here, I'm William Loos, the local real estate agent here in the greater Milwaukee and southeast Wisconsin area. And if you've been thinking about buying a home this year, or maybe putting it off lately, or thinking about next year and maybe somewhere in the Wisconsin area or anywhere for that matter, you've probably noticed that interest rates might feel a little bit higher than ever. I know recently in the falls, rates have trickled down a little bit, but that still does not stop the fact that there's a psychological hindrance to most people because rates are not what they used to be. So today I'm going to walk you through how people are still successfully buying homes even when interest rates might be sky high or even seem sky high without wrecking themselves financially. So if this is a time where you ever feel discouraged or confused, stay with me. This video is for you because I am telling you, you can still buy strategically, and I'm going to show you how. Trust me, I'm a real estate agent. I put myself in my client's shoes, and I wouldn't be saying this if I didn't believe it for myself. Now, to start this video out, I want to just talk about why high interest rates don't necessarily mean it's the end of the world. It doesn't mean you can't buy a home. In fact, a lot of markets, such as mine here in Milwaukee and Wisconsin, the market is still incredibly active because, one, are seeing home inventory slowly improving. Two, you see buyers that might want a little more stability than renting provides. Third, people know that interest rates are always going to move in cycles. They will go up, down, and for that matter, there's always a time to refinance. One thing that's very important for you to remember, and I try and tell people this all the time, you are not marrying the rate, you're marrying the house. You can always refinance the interest rates when they come down, but you can't undo buying the wrong home or missing the right. So with that said, I have 6 strategies for you to consider when buying in a high interest rate market and to help make things much more manageable when buying a home. So with that said, let's get right into them. The first strategy I have here is to explore rate buydowns. Now, this is one of the most powerful tools right now when it comes to purchasing a home, especially when rates are high right now. And I have been trying to push this strategy on a lot of buyers, especially first-time home buyers nowadays, to help them with affordability. Helping them get that lower interest rate is going to make things more affordable to their eyes. And I think a lot of people are just looking for what's still affordable out there nowadays. But this is how it basically works. You can negotiate seller-paid credits to help pay for the buydown. Now, this is basically like prepaying for interest right up front at the closing table. Usually a rule of thumb I was taught to go by is for every 1% you are buying down the rates, it costs 1% of the loan amount at the closing table. Now, it could vary on programs that are offered between one lender to the next. A lot of lenders will offer either a permanent buydown where you are prepaying those credits up front to a permanent lower interest rate. They have what's known as a 2-1 buydown, which will be basically work like this. In year 1, for instance, your interest rate will be 2% lower than the current interest rate. And then the second year you own the home, it's going to be 1% lower. And then in year 3 and beyond, it's going to return to the interest rate that it was when you first closed on the home. Even if rates do come down to a much more manageable standard in the future, doing something like a rate buydown, especially a 2-1 buydown, can make your first few years of homeownership much more affordable. The next strategy on my list is to consider adjustable rate mortgages, but do it carefully. For those who don't know, what is an adjustable rate mortgage, or ARM as people call it for short? It is basically a loan where you start off at a rate usually lower than the standard conventional fixed rate for a certain period of time. After a certain period, usually it could be 5 or 7 years down the road, where the interest rate will move either up or down with the current interest rates at that time. So if, say, you buy at 6%, another 5 years down the road, then say rates might have gone up to 6.5. Well, then once your interest rate changes, it'll go to that 6.5% interest rate. And same principle is when rates go down. It could go down with the current interest rates at that time. and usually it's by a max of 2% per adjustment period, but it could vary on some programs with local lenders. Be sure to talk to a good local lender for your options of an adjustable rate mortgage. If you need any help finding any, I know a few rock stars. Now, adjustable rate mortgage loans are not as scary as they might seem. A lot of Milwaukee area buyers have been choosing 5/6 or 7/6 ARMs because they will, one, like I said, they will start with a lower interest rate. Two, the average homeowner will move or refinance within 5 to 7 years anyway, so even if the rates do go up and it's not in your favor, well, you could always refinance the loan. Also, three, you get a little more breathing room until fixed rates do come back down to a much more manageable standard. So just be sure you're working with a trusted lender who can walk you through the risks and how the caps work. The next strategy I have in my playbook is to focus on the monthly payment, not the interest rates. So when rates do rise, the question shouldn't be, is this a good rate? It should be instead, does this fit my monthly payment? When interest rates do rise, the question shouldn't be, is this a good rate? Instead, ask yourself, does this monthly payment fit within my budget? Also, think about some of the things that are in your control. What are some things that you can adjust when it comes to a sale? Well, for one, you can always negotiate on the purchase price. You can always adjust how much you're going to put for a down payment. You can always negotiate closing cost credits in the initial offer or through contingencies of the offer. The loan type also varies as far as what the interest rate could be or what could work for a good monthly payment option, such as other conventional FHA, adjustable rate mortgages, like I mentioned previously, or other types of loan programs that your lender might offer. As well, insurance rates. Think about your homeowner's insurance company that could offer you a better rate on your plan for a home. And a little bonus, this one isn't necessarily something that's in your control, but when I worked for a mortgage servicing department at a local credit union, I know taxes sometimes can be a factor too. And they don't always go up, and some periods they always go down, especially with like times right now where it's getting close to tax time. If taxes go up on a property, that'll increase the monthly payment on somebody's mortgage. And if they go down, that'll not only decrease the amount on a monthly payment on a mortgage, but also if there's an overage in an escrow account, sometimes they'll get a bonus check as well in the mail come tax time. So it might not be in your control, but it is something else to consider when it comes to numbers and your payment amount. And more often than not, just one thing to share is that you are going to find homes that are going to meet most budgets, especially around here in Milwaukee and Southeast Wisconsin. It's just all about structuring the deal right. The next strategy I have is for you to leverage any local programs. Now, one advantage of buying in my area in Southeast Wisconsin is that you get access to lots of programs like WHEDA loans, your first-time buyer grants, municipal incentives in some areas around Milwaukee County, such as Milwaukee, Racine, or West Dallas. And a lot of lenders will offer down payment assistance programs. Now, these things are great tools to look into and incentives and can lower your upfront costs or reduce your interest rates. And a lot of buyers don't even realize that they qualify for these sort of things. So it's great to look into. Now, the next strategy on my list is to negotiate like it's 2025. Now, with these rates being slightly higher nowadays, people are getting sticker shock and they're thinking they've lost all buying power. But I'm here to tell you that's not true. In our area, we're seeing opportunities in Milwaukee with seller paid closing costs. We're seeing credits being offered from the inspection contingencies. We're seeing price reductions on homes sitting more than 20 or 30 days on the market, or maybe not even that long. Some you might even see from 10 to 15 days in the market. And we're getting seller contributions toward interest rate buydowns, just like I mentioned earlier. So with that said, we're not in a crazy bidding wars of 2021 anymore. A skilled agent, just like myself, can save you thousands of dollars by structuring your offer more strategically. Now, the last strategy on my list is to more think about long-term equity. No, rates may be high today, but home values in Southeast Wisconsin are gonna consistently trend upward over time. Owning a home in general builds long-term wealth, even when you buy during a high rate period and when appreciation seems to plateau. Why? Because when rates drop later and you refinance, you get the best of both worlds. You'll get a lower monthly payment. You'll see some appreciation of the home you earned during the wait for that lower interest rate. So to wrap this video up, if you've been holding off on buying a home because interest rates seem a little intimidating, don't let the fear keep you from owning a home. There are smart, strategic ways to buy, even in a high-rate market. If you're thinking about buying anywhere near the greater Milwaukee or Southeast Wisconsin area, my name is William Loos, the local real estate agent in the area, and I'd love to help you build a personalized plan, connect you with some great rockstar trusted lenders, and show you the homes that fit your budget and your lifestyle. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe and comment with any questions. See you next time.